This episode of the Doing All Right podcast is presented by our friends at Prize Picks.
And we have a brand awareness edition of the Doing All Right podcast, ladies and gentlemen. You know, shouts out to Mr. Broaddus. He respects the counsel of his workmates. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He said, man, Voch, man, you know, we gotta promo these cats a little bit. You think I should do the hat or the hoodie? And I gave him the answer that I would give. I said, well, we're both.
We're both.
Both, you know. Now, if they pay like you weigh with 4 sets of clothes on, soaking wet, then you put everything that's over in that corner in that box over there. Yeah. You put all that. You put the wristbands on. Yeah. The ring. You put the PP socks on. You put it all on. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Do everything.
But I advised Brian to put on the hoodie and the hat, and I think he looks very distinguished.
Well,
better to be proud of you.
Thank you. Truth be known, Voch said, when I asked him, I said, hey, the hoodie or the hat? He says, both, as you said. Yeah. He says, but put the hood up. Yeah. And then put it off the logo. Yeah. And I'm like, all right. So the comments are going to say, prediction. We're the prediction business here.
Sure. Brian, like he been shooting dice in the bathroom.
Okay. As long as I have the shooting dice in the bathroom look, I'm cool.
Your slang has
no. You know what's happened? You've influenced me in such a way where I do radio and I throw things like...
Off the Rip is one of your favorite ones.
Off the Rip's one of my favorite ones. Dirty Mackin is another one. Dirty Mackin is another one. I absolutely love that one.
I got more to teach you, Brian.
Oh, I know you do. But thank you. Thank you for giving me credibility by being my broadcast partner.
You look distinguished, Brian. I like what you got going on here.
Thank you. Thank you much.
We got the next 2 shows are going to be Q&As.
Got you.
Questions and answers, you know what I'm saying? So we appreciate you guys submitting. If we didn't get to you yesterday, we're going to try to get to you today. If we won't get to you today, we're going to try to get to you tomorrow. That's how the game go. But we appreciate y'all for submitting stuff. But Brian, I do have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
I saw this tweet from some other little entity. Let me see who tweeted it on my Twitter. It was Dan Rogers on Twitter.
Dan Rogers. Blogging the Boys? Did I get that right?
Let me click his Twitter to make sure.
Please, I'm sorry. Please, Dan, I don't mean to...
sometimes writer, sometimes podcaster, but an all-time Cowboys fan bringing you the Cowboys. He on Twitter. Let's just say Dan Rogers.
Okay. God, I thought he was Blogging the Boys guy.
I don't know
My bad, Dan. I'm sorry. I do see you on my timeline.
See him a lot.
Yeah, I do see him on my timeline.
We don't quite know who Dan works for. He does a good job of hiding that, but Dan tweets right now.
Okay.
Dan had a tweet that he put out. He put the last four. It's his box of 4 Cowboys coaches, right? Mike McCarthy's in there. Schotty's in there.
I saw you answer this one.
Dan Quinn is in there. Yeah. Kellen Moore is in there.
Yeah.
They're all head coaches now.
They're all head coaches.
These were all on the Cowboys staff in 2022. They're all head coaches in the NFL in 2026, okay? I quote tweeted.
Yeah, you did.
Did you see what I said?
It was something in the regard of why did you not let Schotty call plays?
I think Mike McCarthy will still be the head coach if he let Schotty call plays.
That's okay. Yeah.
When people get on to me, or pardon me, my actual tweet was Mike's biggest mistake was not letting Schotty call plays.
Yeah.
People really get on to me about my Mike McCarthy dislike. Voch, he won 12 games 3 years in a row. That's difficult to do. That is difficult to do. I don't think Mike McCarthy was a bad head coach. He had his limitations, but I don't think he was a horrible head coach. But there was a couple things that he could have done differently to dramatically improve the outcomes. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I think your job as a head coach is to create the infrastructure, you know what I'm saying? And to make this a well-oiled machine, a well-run operation, and to lead.
Yeah.
You feel me?
I do feel you.
So Mike McCarthy, he had an opportunity, man. Mike, we move on from Kellen. Schotty's here. Schotty's your OC. Mm-hmm. Who gonna call plays? And Mike had let Kellen call plays his whole life. Yeah. Or the Jones might have put a little, put a little beep in his ear. But the offense went to plum shit and Mike McCarthy got fired.
Yeah.
Because we was running hitches and slants.
Yeah.
And people thought I was saying hitches and slants for a joke, but if you look
You
up the
weren't.
numbers,
You're actually watching the games.
82% of your I got numbers. 82% of your completions were hitches. That was the most in the league. Very non-creative offense.
Right.
And my thought was, you know what? If Mike McCarthy would have just hung in there and let Brian Schottenheimer call the plays, Brian Schottenheimer would probably be the OC still calling plays,
Right.
and Mike would be head coach still, because you'll still get the offensive success.
Right.
We don't know if Eberflus gets hired or not. If that's a Jones call, like I think it is, then Flus gets hired.
That's a Jones call.
I don't know who the next defense coordinator will be. It'll be probably some old dude or something like that. I don't know. But Brian, my overall point is that Mike McCarthy will still have his job if he would have just delegated responsibility to Brian Schottenheimer. What would you say about that?
I would say you're absolutely right. I've always got on Mike McCarthy because I felt like that he was lazy. Mm-hmm. And so I felt like that if he would have just saw where this thing was going and like, well, hey, Brian Schottenheimer's got some really good ideas, but he insisted, as you say, to call plays. That was his big downfall. I mean, if you would, he could have continued to be lazy, and see what happens is he went from being lazy to being exposed because he had to do work. Mm. And then, as you pointed out, his work was very much not advancing at all.
Sure.
Mike McCarthy would want you to believe that he was sitting in a barn outside of Green Bay, Wisconsin, breaking down every NFL game. That's the furthest thing from the truth you'll ever hear.
He even lied and told. He even came out and told us he lied.
He lied. And his way of operating with the Cowboys, it shows you, though, like I said, if he would have he had it, he decided, well, you know what, I'm tired of being lazy, I guess, and I got to go now. I got to coach a little bit, And he got mad at Kellen Moore and said, I could call plays, and then the offense went back to something that was just god awful. But that to me was he could have maintained what he was doing. I think Mike McCarthy's ego got in the way too. Mm. I think Mike McCarthy, he was sitting back being lazy, and he saw what Kellen Moore was doing, and he saw people talking about Kellen Moore maybe getting jobs and stuff like that, and he was wanting to take away. These coaches sometimes their egos get in the way of them. Like, I'm going to be real honest about Mike Holmgren in Green Bay.
Yeah.
This is just my personal experience. The Green Bay Packers, we could have won probably maybe 2-3 Super Bowls if Mike Holmgren would have stayed. Mm. But Mike Holmgren's ego got in the way that he felt that he could be the general manager of a team and run the operation. I have nothing against Mike Holmgren for wanting to do that.
Sure.
But if you keep things together and try and say, hey, for the betterment of what we're doing, we can have a lot of success if we keep it this way, but ego got in the way, and he took off to Seattle, and he had success at Seattle. Mm. But, that's the kinds of things, though, I think with Mike McCarthy, you can't be one or the other. I think Schotty is fully committed. I think Schotty's fully committed to the process of being an NFL head coach. Mm-hmm. I think he's into the player relationship, the staff meetings, how the offense, how the defense, how the special, how that all works. He's committed to the player personnel stuff. Mm-hmm. Making sure that he's committed to the interview process of things, of going out and getting coaches and stuff like that. So that's why I think Brian Schottenheimer will have some success, is because he's committed. Now maybe it's because he's a younger guy. Mm-hmm. Mike McCarthy's kind of like, I've kind of done that. He never had to do that in Green Bay.
Sure.
Ted Thompson did everything for him. And so then when he comes to Dallas and they're leaning on him to do things, he's kind of like clumsy, awkward. You win games. You win games because you did have some good personnel. There were times where he did manage things. The thing that I want to say, though, Voch, and I know this is kind of a long-winded way, but of the 4 guys that that on that particular tweet, I'm always looking for the guy that's the difference maker.
Sure.
Who's the guy that's going to take me to that next level? Who is the guy? Who is that coach that's going to be that guy? You know?
I think in that picture it's two guys.
Okay. And I want to ask you that. Which two guys? Because, like I say, I never saw Mike McCarthy as a guy that was going to take you to the next level.
Yeah.
Because I question his work ethic.
Yeah.
You to be a next level guy, you have got to do things differently than everybody else. I think that guy out at the Rams, I say this about him. Listen, I'm going to say this about Nick Sirianni. We all hate the Philadelphia Eagles. I get it. I do respect Nick Sirianni because there's always a tornado flying around him. But, man, they find ways to win. They find ways to get in the Super Bowl. They find ways to win the Super Bowl. You know, I respect Nick Sirianni and the way he's able to kind of navigate the tornado, you know. But these coaches that don't work hard at it and are not difference makers, they set your team back. And I think Mike McCarthy, in a way, set your team back. Because he wasn't willing. Yeah, he could get you 12 wins during the regular season. But what was going to happen during the playoffs? What was going to happen to get us over the top? Where was when you had to be the difference maker when all things were equal? But I'd like to hear your two guys you think are difference makers on that list.
I think it's Kellen and Schotty.
Yeah.
I think it's Kellen and Schotty. Those guys have taken offenses and kind of flipped them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You look at what Schottenheimer was able to do with what was left over from the Mike McCarthy administration.
Right.
We weren't really a team that was running the ball efficiently. Honestly, since young Zeke, really, and like 2016, 2017 Zeke, we were trying to find some consistent run game stuff here. And then Javonte Williams, this running back that a lot of us didn't expect. Of us, I didn't think that Javonte Williams was going to go out there and do what he did. There's national pundits that kind of have an opinion about Javonte, but 1,200 yards and 11 touchdowns.
Yeah,
that's and there's still room to grow. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Taking Pickens and doing what you did with him, adding Lamb to this equation. Ferguson still got to get going, but he still had a decent touchdown year.
Right.
And that's in the first year of your offense. Normally it'll take offense a little time to get going a little bit. I think Schotty and what he was able to do in 1 year from the Mike McCarthy administration on offense, I thought it was really, really encouraging. Kellen, we've seen Kellen move to different places and bring good offense with him. And when Kellen leaves, offenses look weird. Now, he ain't got a whole bunch of talent with the Saints now, but there was this period of time where Rattler and Shuck were looking decent over there in New Orleans, No,
he got Shuck playing a lot better than when I don't want to include you in the evaluation, but I know you looked at the quarterback. There was not a lot of positive when you're talking about Shuck, as you're like, he has done a nice job with that player. He really has.
So I see Kellen as a guy that if you put talent around him, he won a Super Bowl calling players on offense.
Right.
With Jalen Hurts and them, you know what I'm saying? Kellen leaves and there's this carryover on offense that kind of happens over there with the Eagles, even with their talent.
Right.
So I think that those guys are difference makers as well. Schotty, and this goes back to what we talked about yesterday, when you could be optimistic and when you could be fair, right? Mm-hmm. So this my optimistic but also being fair stuff with Schotty. You got to see it happen, okay? We have to see what these new coaches have in store. But it seems like Schotty has a really good feel when he's in control of building the coaching staff, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
It looks like the shit works out.
Yeah.
He was in charge of building his offensive coaching staff. Cool, no problem. Right. Good to go. Last year, I think the Jones had a relationship with Flus. Flus got the good old Jones. Put me on 4, please, because I hate this. The good old Jones skins on the wall nonsense that the Joneses seem to love or whatever, and they don't really go for new coaches in that way. Schotty took this whole thing over.
Yeah.
I'm taking it over. I can't stress enough, I've said this on every platform. I may have said it once or twice here. If this shit works out, we have to look at Schotty and go, you did this. Thank you.
Yeah. I think, all right, let me ask you this question then.
Real fast. We're going to take a quick break and talk about Brian's hat.
This episode is brought to you by our good friends at Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 sports picks app, and it's really simple to use. You just pick more or less on a few player stats, and that is your lineup. You're looking at things like points, yards, goals, saves, strikeouts. You decide, is this player going more or less than that number? It's available in most states, including Texas, so you can jump in and play. If you're new, download the Prize Picks app. Use the code HMA, and when you play your first $5, you get $50 in lineups instantly. And you can follow me there, too, at Crown Media, so you can see my picks before the show and ride along with what I am playing. All right, let's see what we got today. Let's go with Cristiano Ronaldo. Let's go with more than 2.5 shots. And let's go with England's own Harry Kane. That's England versus Ghana. Let's go with more than half of a goal. So all Harry Kane needs to do is get you that one goal and you win. All right, that's your lineup. That's Prize Picks. Use the code HMA, play $5, get 50 in lineups. Good luck. This episode is also brought to you by World Springs. If you're looking for a way to unplug, recover, and reset for a few hours, World Springs in the Colony is the place for you. They've got over 40 mineral hot springs and cold plunges, plus saunas, private cabanas, food, drinks, and plenty of space just to slow down for a bit. Whether you're looking for a date night, a recovery day after a tough workout, or just an excuse to unplug, World Springs has you covered. Use promo code CGM when you book your soak reservation and you'll get 30% off your visit. And here's the best part. If you subscribe to Crown Global Media on YouTube and use our code CGM, you'll automatically be entered into our World Springs VIP summer giveaway leading into the Cowboys training camp. One winner will receive 6 full-day soak passes, a private cabana rental, a $100 gift card, and a World Springs gift bag loaded with some of their favorite spa products. Head over to worldsprings.com, use the code CGM, save 30%, and we'll see you out there. Do you feel like that Schottenheimer's hiring of those offensive coaches gave him the skins on the wall to help hire the defensive coaches?
I'm sure.
If they did not have success with Clayton Adams and Connor Riley and and all those coaches, if they didn't have success with those coaches and the offense wouldn't have shined the way it shined, do you think the Joneses give him the latitude to go get defensive coaches?
Shotty got this quiet, and I don't want to use the word arrogance, right? But this quiet, y'all go in the chat and tell me what word I'm looking for. I'm going to describe it, but y'all just tell me what word I'm looking for. This quiet, Joneses, if you let me do my thing.
Is it the demeanor?
It's not quite demeanor. It's not quite. His demeanor shows this.
Yeah.
Hey, Joneses, if y'all let me take care of business, we'll be fine. Like he's had
this confidence?
No. He's had it's something different than that. Shotty's body language will tell you, hey man, last year when I wasn't in control of this thing, we ended up with this coach staff, and that's just kind of what it is. But when I put this thing together, and I made sure that I wanted to talk to.
Kind of a told you so?
Boy, we did 98 interviews, boy. We never did that before. When he says a little small, hey boy, we did 89, 98 interviews, boy. We don't normally blah, blah, blah. And we talked to a whole bunch of candidates, and we talked to them for a long time. Right. The Cowboys love doing shit last minute, real fast.
Oh no, you're not wrong.
Hey y'all, we talked to a bunch of these cats, boy. We love what Durante Jones had to say, man. We love what Christian Parker had to say, man. We could have talked to Jim Leonard and all that stuff. We got multiple candidates, and we talked to so many people. Ephraim Banda, and we talked to all them cats and da-da-da. And now we got this staff, and man, this is what we looking for, and this is what we've been missing. I've been like, man, Shotty, what? It goes back to the Dirty Mac pop the balloon theory. Yeah. I talked about the pop the balloon theory on this show before.
That's the one where the people walk in and they stand there with the balloons, and it's just but they're judging they're off appearance, right?
It's like speed dating.
Yeah, it's like the guy walks in. They had I saw one time a guy. It was a professional football player. It was a guy, I think a receiver with the Bears.
Okay,
and he dressed and the girls were popping the balloons, and then they kind of figured out what he was. And then they all of a sudden they're scrambling to get their balloons back together.
Sure.
They're trying to blow up pop balloons.
Sure. Yeah. So that whole thing was, oh, well, I popped a balloon because I don't like his shoes. Or I popped a balloon
You're too short.
He said he played video games. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
And it tells you a lot about what your past was, what your past administration was.
Right.
Man, Shotty and them looked us right in the face and said, look, everything that happened last year, it wasn't on me and I can't stand it. Everything that we doing this year is going to be totally different than what we did last year. Yeah. That's what Shotty did.
No, you're right.
So not
kind
only...
of like I told you so.
Yes. It's
like, hey, when you asked me during the season when I was the OC, well, what would you do? Well, I told you I would have done this.
And Shotty may have only had so much rope.
Yeah.
He may have only had so much rope. So if he could pick his offense, he can't in year one go to the Jones, but like, man, let me pick my defense too. You ain't got no rope. Yeah. So to answer your question, does he have skins on the walls with Clayton Adams, Connor Riley, those guys working out? You damn right he does. He's gonna build. He built this defense just like he built his offense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So now the Joneses really got to shut the hell up.
Right.
They really got to shut the hell up. Hey man, look. So of those four guys. Of those four coaches that we just kind of broke down, it ain't even the on the field stuff or the play calling stuff that you have to take into account. You said it. Mike McCarthy probably wouldn't be as extensive in his coaching search.
Right.
And we don't know what Kellen Moore is like when he's hiring coaches because this ain't the
Mike would just hire a friend or something like that.
Some old dude. Yeah. That he owed a job or something like that.
He owed a job too. There you go.
But if Brian Schottenheimer, if this is how he's going to be putting stuff together, Christian Parker's going to leave at some point. Yeah. It's going to happen. Yeah. Marcus Dixon going to be up out of here. All these guys going to be up out of here. Yeah. Ryan Smith, they're going to be out of here. If he has the ability to go, you know what, there's always new genius coaches and I can find them.
Yeah.
That's big ass impact if you ask me.
Yeah. All right, let me ask you this question then.
4 for 4.
If you were a general manager and you had to make the hire between Schotty and Kellen Moore to be the difference maker coach, who would you have hired?
If I was a general manager?
Yeah.
Last year or this year?
You get the opportunity to hire one of those guys. You have your football team. Mm-hmm. You could hire Schotty or you could hire Kellen Moore to be your guy.
See, that's what I'm asking. If this was last year, and it's just me being honest, y'all, the answer is obviously Kellen.
Yeah.
Because Kellen just won a Super Bowl in Philly.
Okay.
And Schotty just sitting up under Mike McCarthy or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So you have to take that into consideration. If this is 2026, it's a totally different discussion.
Okay, well, take it in 2026 then. Take it in 2026.
Man, I just got so much respect for what Schotty was able to, and the answer still might be, we hiring OCs or we hiring head coaches?
Head coaches.
We hiring. I think Schotty would be the better head coach to me because Schotty has a better leadership vibe to me. You know what I'm saying? So with Schotty,
how would you deal with that? So does Kellen Moore's uncomfortableness? Did I use a word there?
Sure.
Uncomfortableness, like how Schotty is a outgoing.
He's a people
drinking a shot of vodka with you. Mm-hmm. Kellen Moore's kind of like he's back. He's the going into the bushes meme. The Homer Simpson.
Here's the difference. We have and this is why 2026 is so important. We have evidence that Brian Schottenheimer can call plays on offense.
Yeah,
that's the big difference.
Right.
Kellen is a genius on offense.
Right.
I don't know what he's like as a people person. Schotty has proven that he can call offense.
Okay.
And he does the leadership stuff. So, for example,
wait a minute.
Watch this. I don't know what Kellen or Mike McCarthy would have done with the Micah, Marshawn, and Pickens situation. I don't know what they would have done. Schotty's did a bang up of a damn job with those three situations as a head coach, and you're not losing nothing. You're not losing nothing as an offensive play caller. Go ahead.
So in your mind, he is clearly better than Kellen Moore.
Clear is a strange way to say it because this ain't the Doing All Right Saints show, and I don't keep up with all the Kellen.
No. I'm just saying, but what you know about. Mm-hmm. Are you going to give both these guys call offenses?
Yes, sir.
Both of them are really good at calling offenses. But you're going to give the nod to the guy that's more of a people person.
As a head coach, for sure.
Perceived as a people person.
As a head coach, for sure. If I'm the head coach and I'm hiring a offense coordinator, I might hire Kellen. But if I'm a GM hiring a head coach, Schotty has shown us that he could do the head coach things.
Yeah.
Even hiring a damn defense. Yeah. Hiring defensive coaches. Yeah. Or advocating for a player. Or getting involved in the draft process. Mike ain't trying to get involved. We talking about Kellen.
Hell no.
We talking about Kellen.
Man, I have to go find the guy.
I take every opportunity to shit on Mike McCarthy.
Yeah.
But this offseason, Schotty, this whole season, from last season to this offseason, Schotty has shown us that he has the ability to make his team did not quit on him.
Yeah.
As shit as they were, they didn't quit on him.
They didn't quit on him. You're right.
They stayed together as a damn team. He made appropriate calls on offense. Can he get better? Yes, but it took Kellen. Kellen still don't run the football. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They all gonna have their warts. They all gonna have their different play styles. But Schotty proved it to us, Brian.
But do you worry about that? Schotty was too late, and this is me just saying this. Was Schotty too late to react to how awful Matt Eberflus was during the season?
I don't think that was in Schotty's hands, and that goes back to the Cowboys. We're dealing with the Joneses.
Okay,
it's the Cowboys, and we're dealing with the Joneses. Right. One, they don't fire people in the middle of the year.
Yep. And
if it's their guy and you the new coach, you kind of got to
you got to roll with the punches.
You got to gain some credibility. Yep. You know what I'm saying? If it was this press conference, Jerry Jones, you probably know it. Jerry came out and said it. I believe it was Schotty's first the head coach press conference. He got hired. He was like, Jerry said there were many times in these meeting rooms where Schotty had to bite his lip.
Yeah.
Where Schotty had to shut the hell up when he didn't like something that was going on. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of shows me right there. Schotty wasn't in control of a lot of shit. You know what I mean? So him as a head coach, I think the same.
You think he got this job, Dirty Mac and Mike McCarthy?
10,000%. You are
like he went in there.
I taught you what Dirty Mackin means because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey Jerry, man, you got this franchise quarterback. Why the hell he throwing slants and hitches all day? Yeah. Man, Jerry, boy, I never had this offensive operation looking like this. Jerry, you mean to tell me that's what he's doing with the? That's your play? Yeah. Look, Jerry, I have boom, 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 and boom. Jerry, remember that one time we went out there versus what's the face? And the offense was looking ridiculous. This is what I would do different. He made
I'm just sitting there thinking.
He had the Dirty Mike.
Just sitting there thinking, you're right about that. I was just sitting there thinking, and I asked you the question about did Schotty get credibility to hire the defensive because of what he did on offense? Did Schotty get credibility and get to make the hire because the Joneses effed up the Eberflus hire?
That probably had a ton to do with it.
I mean, it wasn't. I asked you the question in a way of, and I'm just sitting here thinking. I'm like going, wait a minute. Did Schotty get to hire these defensive coaches because Jerry and Steven and Will messed up the Eberflus thing so bad? It's like, oh, okay, we're not gonna do this. Let's see if you can do it.
Word on road is that. When you are a head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, sometimes you have a lot more power than you think you have.
You do have a lot, yeah.
You have a lot more power. You may not always exercise the use of it, but you have the ability to do what you want. So Mike McCarthy said, "Hey man, if I'm going out on my own terms, I want to call the plays."
Yeah,
that shit was a horrific mistake. But the Jones was like, "Hey, you the head coach, bet." Knock yourself out. The Joneses didn't say, "Nah, Mike, we're gonna hire a coach for you and call the play." They said, "Hey, man, knock yourself. If these are your terms, then cool." I think Schotty, and I ain't reporting that. I don't know this. I think Schotty went to the Jones and said, "Man, look, we won 7 games last year.
Yeah.
If you want me to like put it all on me.
Yeah.
Let me hire my staff on defense.
Yeah.
Let me hire my guys.
Yeah.
And if it goes terrible, then you can point all the fingers at me. Yeah. Every finger at me.
You can point all the fingers at me and get rid of me.
And fire me.
Yeah.
Fire me. If this shit don't go well, fire me.
Yeah.
But if Christian Parker's who we think he is, I want my damn statue in the front of goddamn AT&T Stadium.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
I want my statue. But these are my terms. Let me go out on my terms. Let me go out on with my guys.
Yeah.
That's why.
That's all you can ask.
That's all you can ask.
If you're gonna like, listen, if you're gonna get fired, let me do it with the people that I trust and want to be with, and and let's see if we can we can make it work or we can't make it work. But I was just sitting there thinking, because I asked you that question in a way of, did the offensive staff give him the rope? In reality, the Joneses might have effed it up so bad. I'm just going to say, I shouldn't say the Jones. The front office, because Will McClay and others have opinions.
Yep.
You know, the buck does stop with Jerry. But to me, it's like, did Steven, Will, Jerry all went, okay, we ain't gonna put another Matt Eberflus on you. You run the search how you want to run the search, and that's what they came up with.
Yeah, fair enough, Mr. Wolf.
Fair enough.
I know we had questions for y'all, but we're gonna save them for tomorrow. All right. That was we went pretty long on that one, but it's okay because we still got y'all questions and we're gonna feature them. But I do think this was important, Brian, and we have to figure out Shotty first. Shotty got to go out there and call some plays and win some games. I actually got into a small Twitter skirmish. It wasn't a fight, but it was a small Twitter skirmish, and this gentleman was like, "You only won 7 games last year. Why you got so much faith in Shotty?" Da 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 da. And I'm like, man, to win 7 games with your defense giving up 30 points a game, I think that's quite admirable.
Yeah.
I think that's quite admirable, you know? Now, imagine if your defense only gave up 20 points a game, 25 points a game. You probably win a couple more of them, you know what I mean? So I do think I lean optimistic on Shotty, but this is a super important year for him. Yeah. A super important year for him. And I think he got all the tools to do it. And if he could build a staff like this one time, I think he could do it again. And that might be his superpower, Brian.
Yeah. Calling
plays on offense, whatever, cool. Player management, we already know that he's good at that, like morale and all this kind of stuff. But if he's adept at building a coaching staff, then Shotty might be here.
Okay, so you're saying difference maker, head coach, potential Super Bowl type thing with him.
Well, Brian, I don't want to say the SB word because people in the chat will look, you know.
Oh no, they'll clip it. They'll clip it and do it.
But let me just say, like, I think.
Okay, as compared to the top coaches in the league, and I know it's only 1 year.
Yeah,
you've only seen it 1 year, and this is what I love about you. You've taught me the arm's length.
Yeah.
Where is he in the arm's length with the other successful NFL head coaches?
I don't think he can touch McVay at all.
Can't touch McVay.
I don't think he can touch McDonald at all.
Okay.
And I don't think he's touching like Reed at all. But I think that next tier.
How about Shanahan?
I don't think he's touching Shanahan at all.
See, Shanahan's kind of funny because Shanahan will have some really good years. And then the next thing you know, they're kind of like, what?
Yeah, but Shanahan to go out there and win 9 games with Mac Jones and shit.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what
so he's not touching any of those guys.
Shotty's got a lot more to prove for me to put him in a conversation with those guys.
Okay, I mentioned Sirianni.
I don't know what Sirianni does. I think Sirianni got a good ass roster that he's leaning on, but I can't.
Okay.
But I can't knock him though. He's winning games. He won a Super Bowl, so I can't knock him.
Yeah.
So I'll say Shotty is probably within arm's reach, but he's behind Sirianni.
So arm's length of Sirianni. All right. How about like the Harbaugh brothers?
Okay, I got to figure out. So Jim's in
Los Angeles. John's with the Giants now. But you got to look at John's history with the Ravens.
John got history, but John ain't been good in a while.
Okay.
I don't think John's been good. I think a lot of these coaches are living off old bodies.
Okay.
John and Mike Tomlin and them guys, I think they're living off old bodies. I think Mike McCarthy's living off old bodies. I think Sean Payton has done the best job of being like a good old coach that's turned into a new coach.
I kind of, and people are going to say this because Sean and I are friends.
I don't think Shotty's touching Sean Payton.
That's what I was thinking.
I don't think Shotty.
And I would admit it. If I felt like, now there was a time.
I still think Bo Nix ain't good, but he's making Bo Nix.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. He finds a way. Like Sean's asking me about Bo Nix, and I'm kind of like, oh, coach, kind of see him as a 3rd round. You're wrong. Good talking to you, Brian. You're wrong. And I'm like, oh, okay, coach. Thanks. Appreciate you. You know?
Yeah. This is what I think how coaching works, right? Shotty may not be on par with those guys.
Yeah.
Is Shotty good enough to put Dak in the driver's seat and beat those teams?
Yeah.
I think that answer is
He's
yes.
going to have a shot at a few of them.
I think that answer is yes.
Beat Andy Reid.
Basically, right?
Yeah.
So Schotty may not be as good a coach as Andy Reid.
Right.
But can I put Dak in position to beat the Chiefs?
Yeah.
So that's a whole different conversation. You know what I mean?
That is.
And then off that Dak conversation, can Christian Parker and defense come in and aid with that? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Schotty may not be a top 10 coach in the league. We could probably keep naming names and dropping Schotty down. He may not be a top 10 coach.
Yeah.
But situations is what all that matters.
Yeah. I do. I really, I'm a big fan of the reach.
The reach out and touch?
The reach out and touch, because I think that kind of gives me and I think our listeners out there, viewers, an idea of where you have certain coaches.
Yeah.
If you could touch the guy, then you're in that conversation. Mm-hmm. But we named probably 5 guys that he's not touch.
Do you think Zach Taylor's a good coach with the Bengals?
I know Zach Taylor has got his team in playoffs. I know Zach Taylor has navigated without his quarterback.
That's my point. We may not look at Zach Taylor as like a premium top 10 guy.
Yeah.
But if he works with Joe Burrow well enough, then the team can succeed.
I think the guy in Minnesota is really good.
Flores or
O'Connell.
Kevin O'Connell.
I think O'Connell's good.
That's nothing.
Okay, I'll say this. Mm-hmm. I like O'Connell. I kind of feel like Schotty could reach O'Connell.
Schotty can reach O'Connell. I think Schotty can reach D'Amico Ryans. I think Schotty can reach
Shane Steichen. Do you think Schotty's that's Colts?
I think they got their arms around each other.
Okay, they're okay.
Because I hadn't seen Shane turn Jalen Hurts into a passer, and I've seen them win games with Daniel Jones. Yeah. Even though the overall success ain't there.
Yeah.
That's the same shit that's happening with the Cowboys right now.
Yeah.
Like Dak and the offense is doing fine, but the whole product ain't there yet. So they probably closer than we think.
Real quick, Vrabel.
I like Vrabel for many reasons, Brian. I like Vrabel for a lot of reasons. I didn't watch. Let's just say I didn't watch the Patriots close enough to.
It's hard. And this is what's hard about the job sometimes. And I need to do a better job. I know my own is when I'm doing those pre-game shows and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I'm paying so much attention of who we're interviewing and who we're talking to, and. What's going on with the Cowboys that day. Mm. I lose track, and then we get into the Cowboy game, and there are other games going on, and I'm losing track of those games.
Yeah.
We have. I respect. I'll tell you, I do respect Vrabel. I didn't think New England. I mean, as bad as they were, and take that thing to
Tennessee was a bad team. They ended up being a postseason team. Yeah. Same for the
since he left Tennessee, they've been in the ditch.
In the shitter. You know what I'm saying? But I think Schotty will be just fine.
Okay.
But ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate y'all for tapping in on this Didn't Answer Your Questions edition of the Doing All Right podcast. It's okay. We'll answer. I probably will answer tomorrow. Ain't nothing else we can do. We out of topics now. We're gonna answer your questions definitely tomorrow. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Support everything that's supporting us. We love y'all to pieces. CrownGlobeMedia.com is where you find all the work. The clips page that we do. We also have some merch. You know what I'm saying? So go up there and if you want to support that merch, we appreciate y'all for doing so. Crown Globe Media on Twitter, and I'm Voch Lombardi. We'll catch y'all next time. Crown.